I learned in 2020 that I have a deep, deep love for One Direction.
I learned how to play the ukulele. It's been like 8 months and I'm still not very good at it.
I've learned how to dress myself better because I used to wear leggings and a t-shirt every day at school.
In 2020, I've learned how to properly wash my hands.
In 2020, I've learned how to talk to a computer.
During quarantine, I actually learned how to break dance. I'm just kidding. I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
To appreciate people.
In 2020, after going through surgery and months of physical therapy, I learned perseverance, and through that, my relationship with Christ has grown immensely after asking Him to help me out and be with me during it all.
I've learned that it's okay to not be friends with people who are not good for your mental health, and I've grown from that by being able to create amazing memories with new people from high school.
To appreciate what you have, so that you're more thankful for it when it gets taken away, or when you're not able to do it anymore. You're thankful that you had those experiences.
In 2020, I've learned not to take my family for granted and appreciate the time I get to spend with them.
I've grown by trusting my friends and making more important memories with them.
In 2020, I've learned to not take the time with your friends for granted, and this has helped me grow to make sure that I'm just spending all the time I can with my friends and family whenever I get the chance to.
"2020 was quite the year. I know that for me, this year included a lot of board games and binge watching, but it also included a lot of growth. Now, I don't mean height-wise, so it looks like I'm gonna be 5'2" for the rest of my life, but I've grown in other areas. I know for a fact that my addiction to coffee has grown and maybe gotten a little bit out of control. I know my serious and long-term relationship with Netflix and laying in bed watching TV all day has also grown. But I'd like to think I grew in other areas too. For example, my family has never been stronger. Sure, we spent 4+ months in a house together, ready to strangle each other, but looking back, we grew together. I've also grown internally. 2020 threw some things my way that I was not ready for, but I've been able to learn and grow to love myself and take time to care for my needs. But most importantly, I've grown in my relationship with God. I've grown to take time out of my day and spend time talking and writing to Him and praying for those around me. I've gotten to learn more and grow in my knowledge of His Word and truly understand what He's trying to tell me. But I know that this isn't the case for everyone. Some people chose a different path. Some of us chose to worry about the future, and I want you to know that you are not alone. In the beginning, I was worried too. I was worried that God didn't know what He was doing and He must have made a mistake to bring this pandemic on us. I was confused as to why He would spring a sickness like this onto us and kill thousands of people. Why would God kill our loved ones? Innocent people we care about. But we as God's children have grown away from Him. We saw this past year as a punishment and we responded with fear and began to worry. We chose to ignore love and kindness and blamed God and COVID for a terrible year. But in all that worrying, did you ever stop to think about what you were truly worried about? We got worried over stuff we couldn't control. None of us could have told Corona, "Not today, come back later," or "No thanks, we'll pass." This virus was not something we could have prevented, but yet we still chose to worry and let it come between us and God. Some of us have begun worrying about the future. We are hoping and praying that 2021 is different and that in this new year, the pandemic disappears and everything goes back to normal. We asked what-if questions to fill the void that we don't know what's coming. What if this year is just as bad as 2020? What if COVID never goes away? What if God doesn't have a plan? Asking what if isn't always bad, but worrying about the unknown stunts our personal growth because we tend to think and worry about tomorrow rather than what we can control today. Thousands of years ago, something similar happened. God's children began to worry about what they couldn't control and let it consume them. In return, God spoke to them and got up to speak to the people and ease their minds. In Matthew 6:34, Jesus was saying on the Sermon on the Mount, his most famous sermon, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." God is telling us not to worry about our future and just focus on the present. The future has its own problems to deal with, so why stress about it now? We need to let go and stop worrying about the things that God controls. We need to let go and stop being scared over something that isn't out of our hands. What did your 2020 look like? Did you choose to grow with God and let Him in during the hard times? Or did you grow away from Him and let your worries consume you? We need to trust that God has a plan and He knows what He's doing. We need to stop getting worried about the things we have no say in and start growing with God. We won't know what this year will look like or when things will go back to normal. I think there's a hope that 2021 will be better than 2020, but to be real, we don't know that. Now I'm right there with you and hope 2021 brings something different, but regardless of what happens, I choose God and I choose to grow in my trust and faith in Him and understand that He has a plan. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop worrying and put your trust in God? Or are you going to let that fear of the future prevent you from growing in your faith? I hope you choose to turn to God and know that it's okay to worry. It's natural, but you shouldn't because God is in control and He knows what He's doing.